Michael Carter actually gets cut from the Giants. I'm like, I saw that while I was doing my stuff. I'm like, what? Like, are you serious? Michael Carter?
I think we. I mean, how many people have we seen? It's one of those years, and like, did we think we're going to see Henderson, like Darrell Henderson from the Rams? I mean, he was MIA for half a season, comes out of nowhere, starts. It's like Darrell Henderson never was cut last year. It's like he's been the Rams running back straight through. Can't even tell. So him and a couple other guys. Like, how many times was James Robinson signed and cut? Between the preseason and earlier in the year. Michael Carter's better than all these guys. So Michael Carter's going to get another chance. And Bengals maybe backing up Joe Mixon. I heard rumors of that. I'm like, because Chase Brown's out for the year, I believe, and some of their other backups. They just haven't been the same since they let Perine go, since he went to Denver. And I think Michael Carter in Cincinnati would be great. I think they could definitely use that as a change of pace to Joe Mixon.
I think he'd be better with the Vikings.
So I'd hold on to him. If you're our reason for bringing him up, Michael Carter, if you have him in Dynasty, in a deeper league, don't cut bait with him quite yet. If you're in a 12-man and he was on your bench and you were hoping he'd do something, he's probably not. He's probably free agent. But if you were in 16-man or something and he was on your bench, I get it if you got to move on from him. But in a big dynasty league, I would definitely keep shares of him. Keep him steady on the bench, because if something happens to I'm thinking Cincinnati, something happens to a Joe Mixon, then you run out and he's already on the roster, slide him in. And he had some really good games for the Jets 2 years ago, before Brees got there. So, and I think he had almost 1,000 yards. I'm not, 1,000% sure on that, but Michael Carter's good. He's decent back, man. For some of these guys that have been signed, like from off the scrap heap, like Michael Carter's probably the best of them.
Yep, Michael Carter should go land with the Vikings, where he can actually just take over that whole role.
Vikes, yep.
I mean, yeah, that's
probably good. He might be better than Madison. He might be better than Madison.
Well, I mean, he put up almost 1,000 yards just scrimmage wise in his 14 games with the Jets. So I mean, it's and the Jets weren't really that great. I mean, he was their starter before he got kind of hurt, and then before they drafted Breece Hall and all that stuff, he probably would have been their main guy this year, but that didn't happen. Breece Hall came in and did Breece Hall things, and Michael Carter kind of took the back row seat. Cook came in, and he didn't really do anything. But now, actually, I should have actually brought up Israel Abanikanda, because he's the guy that's next behind. He's the guy who's actually in this role behind Breece Hall now, which was a 5th rounder from Pitt, which he's not bad either. I watched some highlights. Actually, I think it was this summer. I think I watched some highlights of him.
No, and another guy that if he's on your they call it taxi squad or practice squad, whatever your league refers to it as. If you've got him on that, you might be able to bump him up towards the end of the season, because I mean, we both agree Dalvin Cook is shot. Like the tread is off those tires. Like Dalvin, the rest of the year he's basically just collecting a paycheck. And Breece is great, but he's always one carry away from being out for the year. I mean, Breece. I hate to say he's anybody could be, but Breece, after what happened last year, anytime I see him take a major hit, go down, I'm like, So Abanikanda, that's another guy to keep. He might, who knows? A few weeks from now, he might be on our week 13, week 14, when the Jets are out of it. Maybe he's, in our waiver mix or something, because he popped and had 12 carries, 51 yards, and a tutty. You never know with these things. But he was a steal, I thought, in the 5th round for them. So he's definitely probably third in line now for carries. So we'll see what happens there.
Probably second, because I don't think they're gonna be doing anything with Delvin. I know Delvin was kind of like angry because he's not getting any work in, but they're a losing team, and I think they're
because you're done.
So I think Israel will probably get mixed in this role. this upcoming week too. I mean, it's after they release Carter or something. There's a good chance that he actually gets mixed in this role this upcoming week. So to see what they got in him and whatnot too. So I mean, I'm sure they're going to cut Cooks at the end of this year anyway. So they need to find out what they got in this guy. Yeah, I think they're.